It's because in this case it's very useful to just see the images and the maps, because it's a grotesque plan. As I was telling you before, that's a kind of a horror movie. That the title could perfectly be Ultra-neoliberal. I like it a lot when they say the name of this table, because this ultra-neoliberal urban project kind of fits very good with this project of transformation of the waterfront of Barcelona. But I am also happy that this horror movie it could fit better if it's connected with the stories of my colleagues of Barcelona. That makes a better movie of what is going on nowadays in the city. How is the crisis impacting and how the movements are struggling against it, because as they would say, explain you afterwards and tomorrow, Cambaggio, for example, a perfect example of a self-managed space that of the commons somehow arising from the crisis of the public and the private, and the Plataforma of defense of Plataforma afectados por la hipoteca of our partners from Barcelona makes this this movie of the strugglings against the crisis much better and empowering image of what is exactly going on. My case is, well, I have now the map, but it was the internet. That's more or less the place where they want to make this project. The project mainly consists in an ampliation and a transformation of the public marina of Barcelona, that nowadays is a place for boats of 10 and 30 meters, and they want to transform it in the premier marina of the Mediterranean. They want to transform it into the port base of super luxury mega yacht, living space for boats of 170 meters. To just speak in the language of mine is bigger than yours of mega yacht world, and to have an idea of what that means to introduce it, there is only 13 yachts more than 120 meters in the world. And one of them is the Eclipse, the yacht of Roman Abramovich, the FC Chelsea football club, that some voices say that is behind all this speculative operation of transformation of a crucial part of the waterfront and the old harbor city of Barcelona. What they want to do is very simple. They want to fulfill this demand because, as they say, boats are getting bigger, are getting flashier, and they need a home. So we want to provide them a proper home. That's their slogan. And what they want to do is to offer them a resort with luxury facilities and service for their crews, spa, swimming pool, etc. A lounge, club lounge, they said, with a highly privatized security area that ensure this privacy of these wealthy people that don't want paparazzis around. Combined, and that's what makes unique this project, with a unique location in the heart of the city of Barcelona. So they are offering this resort, this closed, privatized, highly secure space walled for super rich people in the middle of the city center, in a place that it used to be part and belongs to everybody. And this project, I have now the PowerPoint to explain it to you, but there is a lot of images that would perfectly show that is a part of an ongoing speculative project of the elites of Barcelona that, differently than other cities, never possess the waterfront, which is, of course, a very powerful and, in terms of capital, very valorized space, but has been traditionally belong to more working class and popular people in the city, but now the rich people have the eyes on this part of the city, and they are trying to conquer with these kind of projects and other ones that are coming, and that's just one more part of this speculative wave, and that's exactly what this platform that I belong to is being fighting against. This project of creation of a ghetto of billionaires, a world secure, full of luxury resource service, managed by a private company, a British private company called Salamanca Investments, on the doorsteps of one of the some more popular neighborhoods in Barcelona. The critics, of course, is not only based on a class warfare rhetoric, hating rich and business. Not only this, also this, but not only this. The critic is also against the physical and visual enclosure of a common good, of something that belongs to the city, belongs to everybody. And somehow what we are fighting here too is something that has been very related in the discussion yesterday and today, is this argument of the trickle-down economics. No? This argument that we can give to the rich people and to the enterprises taxation, free taxation, because they create welfare and employment for everybody. That somehow drops the ladder it comes down and finally will benefit everybody. This more kind of neoliberal argument is somehow being also translated in the urban realm with this kind of neoliberal urban projects, like for example Vell is going to explain us afterwards with Eurovegas and Port Vell, are the same kind of logic, no? Of using this state of exception that the crisis is creating to just create a shock to the population that gets immobilized, and once you have the shock and once you have the people immobilized, then you use this as an argument to propose a lot of policies that in a normal situation would have never been possible. Would not have never been possible to sell the city center of Barcelona, giving them an exceptionality of measures that doesn't fulfill the normal urban procediments. For example, this project was not based on an environmental, social or economic impact studio like all the urban processes have. It was based on a marketing studio. So that's a complete destroying at least the normal procedures of the urban policy. So, and this state of exception is what is creating, and that's what exactly these counter-arguments of the trickle-down economics has been the ones that the platform has been fighting against for. Making them appear with this idea of the cluster. Once they realize that this speculative rentier project that is mainly based on the capacity that they would have to rent these boats for weeks, because I have here some numbers, but I will not have enough time, but just the renting of 1 week of these boats is, I need to show you because that's sorry, in between 400,000 euros per week. So what they want to do, of course, in this rentier business is to use these boats in the moment where they are stopped and Abramovich is not on holidays with them, and to use it as a real estate. So they are kind of creating a new neighborhood, rich people there, which this private company is going to manage and organize, highly secure, blah, 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 blah. No? So somehow, fighting against this rentier character of the project, we have been very effective in putting that in the public opinion and broken this consensus that this is good for the city because it's creating wealth, and creating wealth is good because it creates jobs. We say no, that's not true. It creates a rentier parasite exploitation of the common surplus that the citizen of Barcelona is producing, that somehow these position rents are monopolized by this enterprise that somehow absorbs without giving back anything to the city. And not only does it create spillover effects, but it creates the other contrary effect. It creates gentrification. It exploits our common resources. It degradations of our environment. It doesn't allow us to see the landscape. It destroys our heritage, our social and maritime culture of the city. So it's not only producing good that spreads all over, but on the other hand, it steals and exploits the commons that we are producing. I don't have here the map. The map, that was a perfect example of what they are exactly trying to do. You see the project that they promote, like the renter, and the renter is not horrible because after all this platform, the nuns, they try to put it nicer and nicer, even though it's horrible. But yeah, so they make it more digestible. But when you see the plan, you see the plan of the marina. The horrible thing then is that you see the Barceloneta, that is this maritime working class neighborhood just close to the port. Suddenly, it's not the typical tiny houses of Barceloneta, it's a high residential luxury resort neighborhood. So that's what exactly they are trying to promote with this. And that's what's the information that we have been having, that's the project. Now they are selling some buildings of Barcelona for 2 million after this reform of that just was approved last week. So we weren't able to stop it. And now we are in another scenario that we have to think what if to just pass to another level of conflict or just open it to the city and to share it with another movement, because we were very effective in putting it into the public opinion because nobody knew it and it was very sharp and opacity and without participation of the citizenship. But at least we put that in the public opinion, but we were capable of stopping the project that was just approved, as I said, just the last week. Just as an example, because for me it's can be very useful for the discussion afterwards about how this new neoliberal project works in a moment where the public sector doesn't have the money as it had with the boom, at least in Spain, to just invest in infrastructures. What they're doing now is not giving the money, but they stop regulating and they sell the common, what is of everybody. You know? That's going to happen with Eurovegas, where they are selling the territory, and that's what they are selling here. They are selling the public domain of the city, they are selling the public harbor to and that's the 2 minutes video, and that's and then I end up finish of the Councillor of Urbanism of the Generalitat, like the main guy in Monaco, selling as if it would be we said in our webpage, the new commercial of Salamanca Group. But he's not the new commercial of Salamanca Group. He's the main representative of the government in urbanism things. Yeah. 46. This is the guy. No, because it's from here.
I'm going to tell you a story. A couple of months ago, we closed an agreement with some very important companies worldwide related to the smart city business. Everybody knows something about smart cities. If you ask what a smart city is, anybody is able to answer the question. And a guy from one of these huge companies, an American guy, told us, well, why should we sign the agreement with you? We were about to sign the agreement. And I told him, well, you might be a very smart company, but what the hell, we are the city. And he signed, of course. What we are offering to you today is the city. There's no city like Barcelona, I would say, in the world, to develop this kind of business. Someone might be thinking that I'm a bit, I don't know the word for that in English, in Spanish it's chulo. But I can assure you that I can bet you whatever you want, that if you look for a place in which you can put together the richness of culture and the culture of richness, that's going to become for you very hard to find a place like that. And if you want to put together the concept of a modern port with the city and the concept of a port in the city, in the heart of the city, not beside the city, not near the city, not some kilometers away from the capital. You want to put a port in the pure heart of the city. It was said before, 5-minute walk from the Picasso Museum.
Anyway, it's just to end.
Who is the fellow? Tell us.
The name.
The guy?
The guy, yeah?
Bibes. He's the Councillor of Urbanism.
All right, okay.
Like the man in charge of the urban policies of the Generalitat.
Bibes.
Bibes. And the interesting thing of this is that the project was not even approved, was not discussed, was not even known, and he was going, it was this scandal that the Plataforma brings to the public opinion, but he was in Monaco selling it.
We had exactly the same experience 4 days ago with Mr. Polalis. He was talking to us. He's the head of privatization of exactly with the same words.
We can put the video of the project. We can find it.
It is very, very, you know.